The silver chart could be telling us what we're about to get from gold. So if you are trading silver or gold, this is the video to watch because I'm going to have all of the details in this video, including some key levels to watch and targets. So my name is Justin Bennett, full-time trader and founder of Daily Price Action. As always, all of this is my opinion only and not financial advice. So gold, guys, we've talked about this over the past few days. I have a relatively bearish bias on this market. However, I do want to be clear that so far, gold has not given us that change of character just yet. So I made a video on this yesterday talking about the gold breakdown and how this low back here, so this is a 4-hour time frame, this low right back here is going to be the one to watch. So this comes in, if we look at this here, this comes in right around 46.45. And as you can see so far on Thursday, we don't have a close below this. Okay, however, what I want to show you in this video is what we got from silver on Tuesday, in fact, and how that could actually be playing into what we're about to get from gold. So in other words, what silver has done this week could be giving us a so-called glimpse into the future for gold. So with XAUUSD, all right, so on silver, what you can see here on the hourly time frame is that back here we did have an uptrend from this market. So really clean here from silver. So off of this low down here, you can see we got the move up. And then from this point, we just had higher highs and higher lows. Now, one thing happened here on Tuesday that could, again, be indicating what we're about to get from gold. So back here, you can see where we did get a new break of structure above this high. So we had the BOS above here that made this down here the low that buyers had to hold. And of course, that failed right here. Now, this was really clean because what you'll notice is that once we had the change of character, okay, we had this imbalance right here on this candle. We came up here, we mitigated this area, and then we got the continuation, okay? So right now, silver is ahead of gold in the sense that we've already had the change of character within this uptrend, okay? So when we look at gold, what you'll notice is if we go to an hourly time frame, we're still in that portion of this gold move where the market's carving higher highs and higher lows. However, silver has already given us the bearish change of character. Now, for those of you who like trading trend lines, if you'll notice here on silver too, what we had is off of this closing price down here, you can see where we did have a trend line. Okay, so off of all of these lows back here, and you can see where we got the breakdown and retest as resistance. So really clean here, both from a trend line perspective and also an SMC market structure perspective with this change of character. Okay, now if we look at the daily time frame on silver, and I'm going to tie all of this together too and show you why this matters for gold here in a second. But if we look at the daily chart here for silver, why might this market move lower? Well, first of all, you can see where this pullback that started back here in February, this is still ongoing. Okay, we are still having the market give us essentially lower highs here, and you can see the same thing on gold. In fact, gold even took out the low back here during this drop. Okay, so right now silver is still pulling back. So that's the first thing to observe. Now, the other thing to observe is that this candle, okay, right back here on the daily chart, look at this lower wick. So off of this low right here and this one, look at this lower wick down here. This is an imbalance for this market. And I can promise you that if we go to something like an hourly time frame, okay, and head back here, what you'll notice is that we do have an imbalance. Okay, so notice this displacement up. Okay, so this was the low. We had the displacement up, specifically this candle right here, and we pulled back right here on this low. However, we still have an imbalance back here in this area. And like I said on gold too, even candles like this right here, this is also an imbalance. Okay, so you have several factors here that are pointing to a potential pullback from silver. Okay, and what is essentially a continuation of this correction that we've seen for the past few months. Okay, so let me tie this together and show you why this matters for gold. But first, if you guys want to see exactly how I trade SMC full time, check out the link right here on the screen. That's going to give you a free SMC strategy. It's the same exact strategy that I use every single day to trade SMC full time. And then beyond that link, if you want to join us in Discord for my help with your trading and also seeing my trades live, then you can do so beyond that link. All right, so again, silver, we have a downtrend here, correction still in place, lower highs, and now a breakdown. All right, so let's take a look now and compare silver and gold and see why this could matter. So looking at silver and gold, right? We have gold up here in purple and we have silver in blue. So this is a 4-hour time frame. What you'll notice here is that the two tend to move together. Now, it's not perfect, okay, but for the most part, they do tend to move together. So the point here is that if we know that they move together more often than not, and we know that silver has been the weaker of the two during this correction, which is no surprise because during the rally phase, silver outpaced gold by a long shot. So it's no surprise to see silver actually being weaker than gold right now during this pullback. So if we note they move together more often than not, we know that silver has now already given us this change of character right here. Okay, this could be an early warning sign that we are about to get the same from gold. Okay, now it doesn't have to be. Okay, there are no guarantees out there. This right here from silver could be an anomaly. This could not work out. Okay, again, there are no guarantees. However, I do think when everything lines up like this, it does tend to point to a potential pullback from gold. Now, the same thing applies though. In order for this to be a change of character from this low down here, we still have to get that close below here. We still have to get the hourly close below here to give us that change of character and confirm a short-term top for gold. Okay, now one other angle to be aware of here too, and I've talked about this for the past few videos, is the DXY, the US dollar. So if you guys have seen my recent videos, you know all about this here. We've talked about this at length, but if you go to a daily time frame, and this is even more obvious on the euro, but what I want you to focus on is the fact that in 2025, we had this move lower. We had a break of structure, very clear break of structure below these lows back here. We then had a change of character above this high. Now, for those of you in the comments who say, well, this was too close to call, whatever it might be. Again, look at the euro. The euro was about a 55 to 60 pip close below the low, which is the inverse of the DXY essentially. So we do have a valid bullish change of character on the daily chart for the DXY. And as we know, the US dollar and gold tend to move inversely to one another. So the fact that the US dollar is now coming off of this low, which by the way, guys, if you saw the weekly outlook video, this was the gap that I talked about back here. This was the retest. And then look what we had here on the hourly time frame. Okay, early in the week, what do we have? We have a break of structure. Break of structure. What I said in that forecast video was that this high back here, if we get a close above here, that's a valid change of character. And then we had a higher low. I mean, this was textbook. Okay, this was textbook from the US dollar coming off of that gap close, that change of character. This right here, if this continues, then this could also help to weigh on gold. Okay, so you've got multiple factors coming into play here. You've got the US dollar rallying off the lows, giving you that change of character. We also have still this imbalance up here for the DXY. You also have silver, okay, giving you that change of character already. So it's essentially ahead of gold in some ways, okay, at least in terms of this change of character. So multiple factors here. And I want to be clear, the DXY right now does have some hurdles to get through, obviously. This area back here is going to be resistance. You've also got this region up here, this imbalance. So we also have this change of character from the DXY. So this is not to say, guys, that this right here is the macro bottom for the dollar. That's not what this is about. In fact, if you are buying up here, and especially up here, then I think you're late to the party. This right here, we caught in Discord. I'm already short the euro, well in profit on that, which I did share in Discord in real time with VIP members, which I do for every single trade I take. So that's not the point. I don't want you guys to get sidetracked with this. But the bottom line is that if the DXY does come up here to mitigate this imbalance back here, right, then that could weigh on gold even more. And combine that with what we're seeing from silver, combine that with the two tend to move together more often than not, that could right there lead to a breakdown of this level. And as far as what we target, like I said yesterday, like I've said over the past, few videos, if we do get the confirmed change of character, this is still a big if, we don't have it yet, but if we do get this, then you're looking at targets like these lows back here. However, I would love to see this area below 4,300 mitigated because this is an imbalance back here for gold. Now, obviously, I have to talk about invalidation. If we were to get gold moving higher and not taking out this low, okay, and just taking out these highs and continuing higher, then there is no short setup here. There is no loss, no harm done. I hope this video has helped, guys. If it has, be sure to keep it locked in here, subscribe to the channel. Also, check out that free SMC strategy. That's going to show you exactly how I trade SMC full time. Until next time, trade well. I will talk to you again tomorrow.